All right, today we are diving into something huge, the European Union's AI Act. And look, this isn't just another boring regulation. This is the world's first real comprehensive rulebook for artificial intelligence. So, what does it actually mean for us, for the people building this tech, and for the future of AI itself? Let's get into it. For the longest time, that has been the billion-dollar question. As AI has just exploded into every corner of our lives, it's on our phones, at our jobs, it has felt a little bit like the Wild West, right? No one had really stepped up to write a clear set of rules for how this incredibly powerful technology should be built and used. Well, until now. That's right, the European Union has jumped in and created a super detailed legal framework. And this is going to apply to anyone, anywhere in the world, who wants to create or sell an AI system inside its massive market of 450 million people. So yeah, this isn't just some friendly guideline. This is a rulebook with some very real teeth. Okay, so here's our game plan for breaking this all down. First, we're going to look at the big idea behind the whole thing, which they call the pyramid of risk. Then, we'll climb that pyramid, tier by tier. We'll start with AI that's just flat out banned, then move to the high-risk stuff with super strict rules, and then cover the transparency they're demanding for the AI we use every day. And we'll wrap it all up by asking the big question, is this about to become the new global standard? So, if you want to really understand the EU AI Act, you only need to get one single powerful concept. Seriously, it's the key that unlocks the entire thing. And that big idea is this. How an AI is treated depends entirely on the risk it poses to people. It's actually a really elegant and common sense approach. The higher the potential for harm to our health, to our safety, to our fundamental rights, the stricter the rules get. It's a simple idea, but it shapes every single part of this law. And the Act pictures this whole idea as a four-level pyramid. Right at the very top, you've got unacceptable risk. We're talking about AI that's just banned, period. The next level down is high risk, which gets a ton of regulation. Then there's limited risk, which is all about being transparent. And then the huge base of the pyramid is minimal risk. Think, spam filters or AI in a video game. And that's pretty much left alone. So let's start at the very top. Okay, so what kind of AI is so dangerous that the EU decided to just completely forbid it? This is the most serious category, and it's reserved for AI systems that just cross a fundamental red line. The law calls these prohibited AI practices. Basically, these are AI systems that are seen as a clear and present danger to our rights and our safety. The Act is very, very specific about what falls into this unacceptable bucket. So here's what's totally off limits. First, any AI that tries to manipulate you into doing something harmful is banned. Government-run social scoring systems like you might see in some countries, banned. AI that tries to guess your political beliefs or your race just by looking at you, banned. And here's the big one, a near-total ban on real-time facial recognition in public spaces by police, with only a few very narrow exceptions for things like terrorism. All right, let's move one level down the pyramid to the high-risk category. Now, this is where the bulk of the regulation really starts to kick in. We're talking about AI that could have a really serious impact on our lives. So, what makes an AI system high risk? Well, the Act defines it as any system that could have a major negative impact on your safety or your fundamental rights. We're not talking about AI that's just kind of annoying. We're talking about AI with the power to make life-altering decisions about you. And the law is super specific about what this includes. Think about an AI system that's managing the power grid. Yeah, you definitely want that to be high risk. Or how about an AI that grades your college entrance exam and decides your future? What about an algorithm that scans your resume and decides if you even get an interview? Or an AI at the border that's assessing whether you're a security threat? All of these, and more, are considered high risk. Now, because these systems are so important, they have to meet a really strict set of demands. The developers have to constantly manage risks, they have to use high-quality data to avoid bias, and they have to keep incredibly detailed records. But maybe most importantly, there has to be clear information for the user and meaningful human oversight. That means a real person has to be able to step in and override the machine at any time. Okay, moving down the pyramid again, we hit the limited risk category. This level is all about the AI we interact with every day, and the main rule here comes down to one simple word: transparency. The philosophy is really straightforward. The EU believes you shouldn't be tricked. You have a fundamental right to know when you're talking to a machine, and you have a right to know when you're looking at something a machine created. It's that simple. And deepfakes are the perfect example of this in action. Under these new rules, if you create a deepfake video or piece of audio, you have to clearly label it as artificially generated or manipulated. This is a direct shot at fighting misinformation and making sure we can all tell what's real and what's fake. And this transparency rule goes even further. You have to be told when you're talking to a chatbot for customer service. If a company is using an AI to analyze your emotions, say during a job interview, they have to disclose that. And if you're reading an article about public affairs that was written by an AI, it has to be labeled. It's all about giving you, the user, the information you need. So, we've gone through the whole pyramid. What does this all add up to? Well, the AI Act isn't just about stopping bad things from happening. It's also trying to build a trustworthy AI ecosystem where innovation can actually flourish. To do that, the Act creates something called AI regulatory sandboxes. Think of them as safe playgrounds where companies can test out their new AI ideas with regulators watching over their shoulders. The Act also includes support for smaller businesses to help them comply. And it creates one single set of rules for the entire EU market, which actually makes things way more simpler for developers. It's all about striking that balance between safety and innovation. And that leaves us with the big one, the final question. Just like the EU's big privacy law, GDPR, became the unofficial standard for the entire world, the AI Act could very well do the same thing for artificial intelligence. By being the first to write a comprehensive rulebook, the EU has pretty much defined the entire playing field. The question now isn't if there will be rules for AI, but whether the rest of the world will end up playing by the ones Europe just wrote.